Hi doers! Today we're going to talk about a topic that belongs to the wealth stage called control personal finances. The truth is, when I started making extra money with my elite SEO skills, I find out about my lack of financial literacy. I didn't know how to control money, and I didn't understand clearly how money works. So my first trigger was going to the bookstore and purchasing the visual book called How Money Works. In fact, I reviewed this book in my video called 7 Book Ideas from How Money Works. It pops up in the top right corner, so I recommend checking it after this video. Now, here comes the good part. When I was reading this simple, visual yet substantial book, it slowly showed me the truth about money. And after sorting out the information, I became hungry to learn in depth the money truths of personal finance. That being said, my purpose within the control personal finances stage is to educate you on personal finance management skills that could pay off for the rest of your life. So now, let's sink into the 7 outspoken money truths of personal finance and holistic wealth. Number 7. Everyone can reach financial goals. You may have heard it gazillion times, or even worse, you may be saying, if I had earned more, I would have saved money and reached financial goals. Or if I had won, I would have had a life I desire. That is nonsense, because here is the thing. When you develop a money habit day by day, you will reach your financial goal, and in a while you will understand how. Listen, you have to be organized and disciplined. That sad truth is, just a minority of people do that. That's why I want to teach you the number 1 rule in personal finance. If you don't pay yourself first, you might never pay yourself at all. Pause here a while and let it sink. Think about it really deeply, because this was the number 1 rule I had to implement into my life. I call it the PYF habit. I created a firm PYF strategy with several golden buckets, and I recommend you to watch a video called Pay Yourself First, the key step to accumulate wealth. You may ask, why do I mention it as a first step? Well, the answer is very simple, because it works. What you need to do is just put a certain amount of money aside to build primarily your emergency fund first, and second, invest regularly. The best approach is to transfer automatically that amount to your investment or savings account. So it doesn't bother you and you can focus on something more meaningful. And only at this point, after you pay yourself first, you can pay your bills and other expenses. It's easy, isn't it? Listen, you have to build a money habit. No matter what circumstances appear, be strict to yourself and know there is no other way to reach a financial goal. That being said, by doing it, everyone can reach financial goals, because eventually you'll get used to this habit. I can assure you, you will love observing how your wealth and net worth is growing. Number 6. Investment is uncomplicated and you don't have to take big risk. You may have heard it everywhere. Investment involves risk. A higher yield is risky. Real estate is risky. The index fund is risky. If you just get started and read these statements, it might discourage you from investing at all. Instead, you end up saving money, which is bad because inflation will gobble it up. Look, after reading the visual book called How Money Works, I discovered that investment isn't scary or even complicated. There are plenty of options to choose from, and stick with those that you feel some passion or interest. I strictly advocate being a long-term investor and don't try to beat the market. It's a no-brainer, and I made a video on this topic called Passive Investing versus Active Investing. So go ahead and watch it. after this video. And another thing, if you want to replace as fast as possible your daily job, focus on assets that produce monthly and quarterly cash flow, such as rental properties, dividend low-cost index funds, or even conservative government and company bonds. I'd recommend again setting up an automatic monthly contribution to your investment account. But always keep in mind before investing to have at least a 3-month emergency fund. And as a sage reminder, strive to decrease your debts on liabilities that don't generate any cash flow. Number 5. Knowing some yet important strategies about personal finances is enough. Think about this for a moment. First, it's enough to understand a few important personal financial terms to control your finances. To give you an example, it might sound simple to someone, but I began learning what a checking and savings account is. Then I was digging deeper for what is simple and compound interest. And when I hit the term PYF, or pay yourself first, it was for me a huge aha moment, which I've already described in the previous Money Truth about a financial goal. If you want to know my first 11 personal finance terms that are enough to know, I made a video 11 basic personal finance terms to understand financial literacy. Click on the top right corner to watch it. The big lesson here is don't wait until you think you know everything to get investing. Because you know what? Property prices appreciate, stocks appreciate, art appreciates. So when you delay your decision, you might end up paying next year more for the same asset that you wanted to buy today. My recommendation is to start as early as possible. That's why I teach my 12-year-old nephew to understand the power of compound interest and monthly rental income. The earlier you start, the more wealth you will accumulate. Devote yourself time to learn and find someone who has been walking in this direction. Number 4. Money is a choice and not an elimination. Please don't do this. Don't sacrifice yourself from buying essential things that make you happy. Yes, you can't buy happiness. Instead, what you can buy are options, and those options are choices that make you happy. For example, when you want to have better quality in your life, you might swap your flat for a bigger apartment, or to make it even perfectly profitable, do house hacking. So spending money mindfully is a wise way, but spending money unconsciously is a dumb thing you can do. The money truth here is to be crystal clear about what you really value in your life. So if you spend mindfully your money on things that bring you a better lifestyle and future return and value, it's absolutely okay. Number 3, wealth doesn't just mean enough money. This is deep for me and so for you. Because the older I am, I realize it. And I want to emphasize here something very, very important. Listen, time is more important than money. I wish to begin with all the current skills in my early 20s or even sooner. The truth about money here is to don't waste your time. The earlier you get started, the sooner you can enjoy life without relying on someone else. But the problem is, society programs your mind to be an obedient sheep to their system. They don't teach you how to invest and which direction to build your wealth that would replace your job and decrease your taxes. So I encourage you to take the next step to watch my video called Multiply Your Time and Income with the Power of Leverage Strategies. I wish I had a chance to return in time because I would maximize investing earlier. I would hustle even more to work overnight or on a weekend. Yes, I do it right now, but the point here is again to start it as early as possible because it's the holy grail. But most importantly, I do appreciate my time. Because true wealth is holistic wealth. It's interconnected with our emotions, mind, well-being, physical and financial performance. That's why I created the 7 stages of wealth. It is holistic wealth through your life. And it leads me to another money truth. Number 2, the power of investing in yourself. I can't emphasize more how important this step is. This is big, bigger than you expect. Do not neglect it. Really, it will hurt you in the long run. Remember, when you were born, you got the gift. That gift that has grown up within you. And it's just a matter of time when you explore it and begin thriving on it. And to challenge your rise and prosperity, you have to invest in yourself. If you want to speed up the process, find a mentor. I strongly believe it doesn't need to be in person, but a virtual mentor is enough. I've learned from a few of them, and without them, I wouldn't have been where I'm right now. They are willing to help you. It's about interaction and asking for help. And I want you to remember this wealth principle. Your income can grow only to the extent you do. Ponder on it. But don't neglect your mental and well-being part. Investing in yourself isn't only about learning how to earn more money. It's about investing time to practice yoga in the morning, waking up earlier, enjoying the quietness of the empty room, and hearing birds is an undescribable moment. The truth about money here is when you invest in yourself, it will provide you with the power of confidence to create any kind of wealth. And the last most important truth about money is number 1. If you are a doer, wealth will show up when you least expect it. I used to be so naive because of my thoughtless investments in dubious systems. I lost money, but I recognized there aren't any shortcuts to bypass the direction of wealth creation. And it surrounded me for a while with the wrong people that believed that to become wealthy, it's about to figure out some shortcuts. Because the most important money truth here is that money takes time to grow. And I've already talked about compound interest, which is really the holy grail. Or the monthly cash flow of your rental property and slowly growing larger portfolio that will cover all your expenses and make you financially independent. The truth is, all this takes time. But when you realize it, when you realize this last money truth, wealth will show up when you least expect it, and it sets you free. Remember it. It really sets you to become free. It means that the best time to get started is yesterday, and the second best time is today. Because you are a doer. You want to start now to control your personal finance and invest. And because you stick with me to the end, here is the most important takeaway. This is a simple, yet sometimes unbelievable truth. If you love something, you become an expert on it. Because while building your brand around what you love, you become an influencer for others. It's just a matter of time because you become a recognizable person of your skills. So if you follow firmly these 7 outspoken money truths, holistic wealth will show up. That's all for today's wealth stage called Control Personal Finances. And as a reminder, go and subscribe to my channel because every week you will receive a video within 7 wealth stages of wealth. Besides mastering how to control personal finances, I've been obsessed with creating well-being and wealth-building strategies. That's the reason why I've been talking and writing about topics related to the 7 wealth stages. Because our Path VC channel helps you to become a doer. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next week.